On June 16th, 2018, a show designed for you, the Daily Commuter, went live.
Well, folks, dreams do come true. This is Have Faith, Let It Begin, and this is our first episode.
A weekly show all about faith.
Every day, we're going to battle storms. We're going to face challenges. But we have to remember that we're not going to do it alone. We have to have faith.
A show with motivational topics.
As you go into work today, don't allow anyone to steal your joy. Lift your head up high and know that God is with you.
Inspirational stories and personal testimony set out to change the world.
My wife and I are expecting our first child. I'm going to be a father.
Welcome to Have Faith. Let it begin. Here's your host, Angel Santana.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Have Faith. Let it begin. It's Wednesday, and that only means one thing. It's wisdom. It's Wednesday wisdom, folks. I want to get right into it. Have faith. Let it begin. One of the things that has bothered me, and I've held back very, very long time on this, and I just wanted to finally come out and say it. The things that have bothered me recently on social media, especially the news, is how often we turn that on and there's so much negativity, so much bad news, so much gossip, so much of individuals continuing to get involved in other people's business. We talk on this show about gossip and how it can ruin individuals, it can hurt people, but yet those people that we look up to, those people that we find to be upstanding type of individuals, are the same people that are doing that on TV, on social media. Don't get me wrong, I partake in social media. I partake in watching TV. And with social media, and of course, things like Facebook and Twitter, these are outlets, in my opinion, that we can utilize to put a positive spin on the world, rather than putting the negative. So many times I'll touch my Twitter account on a personal level and on a business level, and I'll see things that are very, very disturbing. One of the great things about our Twitter account here at Have Faith LIB, is people asking for prayer, people praising God, people praising our show and other shows, people showing us stories and sharing with us future commitments and future goals and things that have happened, obstacles they've overcome, and it has become very, very positive. I find myself gravitating more toward this account than my personal account. If I hit the search bar or I see what's trending all over the world, it is either somebody sneaking off and talking about others, or people talking about whistleblowers, or people talking about things that are happening in this country, whether it's from foreign or domestic. People talking about celebrities who have cheated and who are ran off with other people, or people are just complaining about not making enough money, or sports athletes complaining about the teams they want to play for because they want to play for a championship. But how often do we turn on social media and actually read something good? Don't get me wrong. There are some days where you'll turn on your social media, and if you've turned off some of your news feeds, or if you've hidden some of the things that have become offensive or disrespectful, you will find somewhere in there, along the lines, something positive. It's funny, sometimes when I post things like, listen to our show at Have Faith, Let It Begin, or if I strike a title that says, God is here for you, or God is calling, or if I say things like, remember us, remember when, sometimes those views do not do well. And again, for me, I'm not looking to get famous. I'm looking to spread the word, and to do it by in a positive light, whether that's through personal testimony, inspirational stories, motivational topics. But what is very interesting is how often I will get a huge hit if I put things like depression, fighting, arguments, being pulled over by the cops, titles that make people gravitate towards you because it's exciting and negative. And the purpose of this show is not to bash social media, because again, there's a lot of good that comes with social media. It is to talk about why is it that none of us are willing or capable at times to share in the good moments. It's almost as it feels as if we only post things at certain times. Birthday occasions, anniversaries, graduations, first days of school, last days of school, marriages, engagements, housewarming parties. But we don't take into consideration of things that maybe we should talk about other than that. Like maybe watching your daughter walk up to your father or her father and saying, "Grandpa, I love you," and catching that moment on video. Catching a moment where your husband is dancing with your daughter at a party. Watching your son create a project. Reading a book. Now I know I sound like a 70, 80-year-old person complaining about things that are kind of out of our control. I just want to talk about how often I feel we could allow ourselves the opportunity to overcome the negative and to create a positive. I've always said this. Why is it that there's nothing out there called the good news? Meaning, rather than turn on the TV and actually listen to primetime, TV, as far as, Live at 5 or Channel 10 or, 11 o'clock news. Why can't there be a good news where all they talk about are things that are happening in this world that are actually going to put a smile on our face? So, I guess the point I'm making about this episode is, whatever happened to the good old days when you felt as if when you turned on the news actually gave you a couple of top stories, some inspirational news, right into the sports, right into the weather, and then always leaving on a positive note. Today, it seems as if it's just bashing, gossip, maybe a little sports news, definitely a 10-second or a 30-second view of the weather, longer if the weather's worse, and then just closing it out with what's happening in the world. My dream, my wish, is that we are able to turn on the news one day and not hear that someone has been shot, someone has been murdered, someone has been bullied, someone that has been picked on, someone that is missing. I'd rather turn on the news and hear someone has survived, someone has been found, someone found a cure. Others are willing to give back to the community. Something that's going to put smiles on our faces, that will allow our children and our children's children to live and to feed off of good information. Because it's those actions that allow others to gain knowledge and to learn that the good news can come from within. And that's all I have to say about that. I'm praying that this show continues to do that for you. Have faith. Let it begin. Thank you for listening to another episode of Have Faith, Let It Begin. You're going to hear episodes, me recording live as my daughter in the background, Ariel, will probably cry. You'll hear background noises like phone calls. And right on the cue, she's starting to cry. Don't worry, everybody. We're going to continue on like never before. And with Ariel in the background, knowing that in the future you're going to hear yourself crying like this, Mama, yeah, say hi to everybody out there. We just want to encourage each and every one of you to join us every single weekday, Monday through Friday at 6 a.m. Join me, Ariel, my family, and everyone as we continue our journey. For Have Faith, Let It Begin, my name is Angel. Say goodbye, Ariel. Say bye. Bye.